Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this very special episode of the Light Path podcast. If you're someone that listens to this show regularly, then welcome for the 100th and something time. I don't even know what podcast episode I'm up to at this point. Or if you are a first time listener to the Light Path podcast, you are so warmly welcome, not just to listening to this, but to the extended Light Path community. There are so many ways you can get involved, but social media is a great one. We put all our content up there. So the Light Path Collective on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we also do have a Facebook community page called the Light Path Community. And a great way to be part of our community is to also sign up for our newsletter, because the newsletter recipients and the Light Path community on Facebook are always going to be the first to find out about anything that we're launching, anything that we're changing, any special offers that are coming, so you get a head start. Which is why this episode is dropping on a Thursday. Usually I drop episodes every Monday, but the reason I'm dropping it on a Thursday is because I wanted to give our Light Path VIPers a moment to hear this message of this really special new thing that I'm launching on the 5th of May. And so before we get stuck into it, let's pull a card. I've been doing this with guests that have been coming on, but I decided, well, I should be doing it on my solo episodes as well. So that noise is just me shuffling the cards in the background. Oh my gosh, it's the New Beginnings card. Love that. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you will see the card I'm holding up is the New Beginnings card. And oh my gosh, aren't we in for a new beginning? Not just because of what we're diving into, but it's because this new beginning it doesn't feel new to me because it's something that I've dreamed of bringing into the world for a long time, and now is the time to step into it. So today I want to talk to you about something that has completely changed the way I heal, align with my authenticity, and live my life. And this is one of the first healing tools I actually ever learned on my personal growth journey. And that tool is EFT tapping. And so for 16 years now, I have been using this tool, and it's something that I continue to return to again and again and again, because simply it works. Not just on the surface, but it works deep within the body, the mind, and the energy field. And now for the first time, I'm bringing you this transformational tool directly to you through something called the Tap Back Collection. And we'll get back to that soon. I can't even speak. I'm so excited. We will get back to that soon. But first I want to go deeper into why I'm doing this and the real magic plus the science behind tapping. Now, again, something I don't talk about often, but something that the beautiful women on the Light Path Collective know all too well, is that I built the Light Path Collective based on 3 pillars or 3 big values: that of service, that of education, and that of empowerment. In that anything we do, anytime we sit with you one-on-one, we sit in group, or any type of social media we produce or content we put out there, it has to align to these values: that we are of service to you, that we are empowering you, and that maybe we're educating you. So by bringing Tap Back to you, I'm bringing you all that I have learnt, all that I have lent on, and all that has helped me. So if you don't know anything about EFT tapping, then this will be educational. But if you know all about EFT tapping, then hopefully it just enhances what you know. But also for everyone, whether you know about EFT tapping or not, this is going to be super empowering to you and offering this to you in service to you, because I believe that we are so capable of so much of our own healing. And sometimes we don't want to take responsibility for that because simply we can't. We might be too overwhelmed, or we might need that little boost to begin that healing with. And that's exactly how it happened for me. But you are so much stronger and more powerful than you realize. And I really, 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 really want to empower you to take healing into your own hands. We are always here for you, absolutely. And there is appropriate times to see a healer, whether it be through a hypnosis session with Alana, or through Reiki with me, or a reading, or you need someone to sit down with you and, talk through your money blocks and issues, whether you're sitting in a beautiful ceremony that is led by Cass, infused with the power of cacao, or you're with Laura, really diving into your human design. That is always really appropriate. And there's services that we on the Light Path Collective still seek when we need them. But there are also so many healing techniques that are not just for healers. They're for you. They're for you to use and learn. And so I'm bringing them to you. So what is EFT tapping? Well, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And often it's colloquially referred to as tapping because it involves gentle tapping on specific acupuncture points in your body, whilst you're simultaneously out loud talking through the emotional experiences that you're having. And the points that you are tapping as you do a tapping series are not random. They're points on the energy meridian system. It's the same energy meridian system used in acupuncture. I often think of it when I'm doing it as like giving myself my own little acupuncture session, because I am stimulating these energetic meridians and using them to work through, release, and neutralize really intense and tricky emotions as they are rising in me. And that's what I love about tapping so much, is that you can be in an experience and then do a tapping sequence and really help yourself to center so you can actually deal with what's happening rather than dealing with how that is making you feel. It's ultimately just going to allow you to become more empowered and more in touch with yourself, but also more not in control. I don't like that word in control, but I can't think of a better word. Have more autonomy over those moments that can be intense and difficult to navigate. We're human. We all go through them. And so this is such a communal experience. But when we tap on these meridian points, what we are doing is we are sending these calming energetic signals directly to the amygdala. And this is the fear and emotional processing center of the brain. So physiologically, what's happening to you as you tap is you are actually interrupting the fight or flight response that may be completely overwhelming you or keeping you stuck in that moment. When you tap, you are reducing your cortisol levels, so you're reducing your stress hormones, and it also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, so that rest and digest branch of your nervous system. And if you've been following me on the Light Path Collective or this podcast for a while, you know I have been knee deep, not knee deep, shoulder deep, tippy top of my head deep in really working on my own nervous system. I would say for the last 18 months or the last 16 months, I'm really there. Like, I've got a lot of tools now that I use and that I'm beginning to teach, hence bringing this to you. When you're tapping, it also helps to rewire your brain's emotional response to a memory, a belief, or a trigger. And as many of you know, the work that we do in, say, self-concept sessions is all around that. It's like, well, what do you believe to be true about yourself? And how is this formed? How is this belief formed? Or what memory keeps coming up that is actually triggering you into an emotional response that may or may not have any relation to what is happening to you now? And to be honest, this is how I use tapping a lot, because I realize how much emotional baggage or trauma or memory we hold, and how easy it is just to kind of scratch the surface and boom, it comes up. And it's not necessarily as a result of the current experience, but we are experiencing that emotion much more intensely because it hasn't been released from the previous experiences that we've had. Tapping also clears energetic blocks that, like I just referred to, accumulate in the body's energy field. I've talked about energetics a lot on this podcast, and if you're tuning in, you're probably attuned to the fact that we are energetic beings, and energy is a flowing, living, breathing organism. So energy needs to keep moving. Yet, as humans with this ego consciousness that resist fear, often resist change and the unknown, we can shut these energy fields down, even just with a thought, with a belief or a memory, and really make them stagnant. So in order to keep that energy flowing so we keep flourishing, tapping is an amazing tool that you literally have at your fingertips that you can use to tell your brain and the body that you are safe now. You can release this. And as a result of that, you can move forward differently. Different choices, different perceptions, different emotional experiences, and as a result, different outcomes. Because as we know, where attention goes, energy will always try to flow. So if our attention is always going back to our triggers, if it's going back to memories, if it's going back to outdated or unhelpful beliefs and perceptions, then that's where our energy is going to go, and we're just going to repeat cycles. So I love tapping as a really quick and effective circuit breaker in all of that. And because the subconscious mind is responding to repetition and emotion, combining tapping with spoken words creates incredibly fast and deep reprogramming. So now you might be thinking, okay, well, this all sounds great, but is it true? Can we actually do that? And the answer is yes, because tapping is backed by science, okay? So if anyone knows me, they know I'm not very sciencey, so I'm going to do my best here. But this isn't what maybe some people would like to assume is a woo-woo healing technique. The fact is that, like I said at the beginning, we hold so much power within us to heal ourselves. And in that empowerment, in that value of the Light Path Collective, that's what we're here to do. We're here to empower you to be able to take that sovereignty in your life and give you the best, most effective tools that we know because we've used them. Well, for me, for the last 16 years, I've used this one to bring you back into that flow and flourishing mode. But the science behind tapping is pretty comprehensive. There's over 100 peer-reviewed studies that have now demonstrated the effectiveness of EFT tapping for a really wide range of issues, around anxiety, depression, PTSD, physical pain, weight management. Just so much more. And you can use tapping on anything, really, anything that triggers an emotion and really restricts that flow and flourish vibration that is great for us to exist in. But a few highlights of research that I have found is a 2012 study published in the Journal of Nervous and Mental Disease showed a 24% reduction in cortisol levels after a single EFT session. And a single EFT session literally goes for about less than 10 minutes. So big results, right? Cortisol is something that I am very conscious of in my own body, and I use tapping to really help bring me back out of that fight or flight or that heightened cortisol pumping through my body. A 2016 review published in the American Psychological Association's journal declared EFT as an evidence-based practice for anxiety, depression, and PTSD. And research at Bond University and Harvard Medical School found that tapping calms the amygdala, reduces emotional reactivity, and promotes emotional regulation. All of which I can absolutely concur with just through my own personal experiences with tapping. And clinical results are also being shown that tapping can lower your heart rate variability, meaning that it stabilizes your emotional reactivity. It can decrease limbic system hyperarousal, so you're not so heightened in the moment, which is great because, like I said, less than 10 minutes at your fingertips, literally on your body, you can do this at any time. And it improves your vagal tone, so it supports a better nervous system regulation. So it's not just woo-woo. It's deeply physiological. It's energetics meeting neuroscience. And that's why it's so powerful. And we love that. So I first came across tapping when I very first started my curiosity and expansion into the world of energetics and spirituality. So many of you will know my origin story, especially when it comes to my intuitive work, where I went to see a beautiful medium in a heartbreak mode. And that's really important for this story. So I was in heartbreak and I got an opportunity to see this medium out of the seemingly blue, but now I know, out of divine timing, was right when I needed it. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Little did I know I was ready to be a student in this, but there I was. And so I was in this huge, expression of heartbreak. And at the time, I, kind of surrendered within a couple of weeks to at least being curious about meditation by joining a spiritual circle and sitting one-on-one in meditation and energetics with this amazing, beautiful reader. But alongside of that, the person that actually introduced me to or connected me to this reader was the most beautiful woman and the oldest, most wisest soul I think I've ever come across on this earth. And I worked with her in my previous career as an educator, as a teacher. So we worked together. And I have no idea how this happened, but one of the mothers of a child that I taught, you know how you have conversations with people, one thing leads to another. Anyway, she told me about a friend of hers that was a kinesiologist. And I was like, what's a kinesiologist? And she explained to me that, kind of what she did. Basically, it was a healing form. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try anything because I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired of heartbreak. And it almost felt like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I, in inverted commas, get it right? Now, obviously, I do not feel that way at all about relationships now, and I have completely changed because of all the work that I have done, but that's definitely how I felt at the time, and I felt like I just want to feel like flow and normality when it comes to relationships. So I booked in with this kinesiologist, and I went there, and I ended up actually working with her pretty intensely for the next few years. And she's someone that I still speak to today. Crazy story, but she doesn't actually practice kinesiology anymore like she used to. She's moved on to more education, but she actually happened to buy a home literally under where my home is. I look down on her home, so we didn't live in the same area at all. So it's just so crazy how things come around. So now she's a beautiful neighbor of mine, and when I need that intense healing, if I feel like I need her, I'll reach out to her. But I would tell you to reach out to her, but she doesn't see clients anymore, so I can't tell you that. But it was through my sessions with her that she introduced me to tapping, and that was over 16 years ago. And like I said, at that time, I was just carrying a lot of emotional heaviness that I didn't even realize I had. I haven't conceptualized my emotional world and how that was playing out in my life and in my interactions with others as energetic at all before. And I think at the time, and I think maybe still to this day, I was pretty strong on the outside. I was achieving. I had a great social life. Like, everything was okay. But on the inside, I didn't realize how much anxiety, old wounds, fear of failure, fear of being seen, and a deep belief that I had to carry all that myself. And the more I healed, the more I saw. But the more I saw, the more I could release and embrace. So it's always such a beautiful process of healing. And I remember the first time this kinesiologist led me through a tapping sequence. It felt really strange because you begin a tapping sequence saying words like, even though I feel scared, I completely love and accept myself, while tapping these points on my body. And it was so outside of the norm of how I was taught to deal with deep emotions, or maybe it was out of the norm because I wasn't dealing with deep emotions. But here's the thing, something shifted in me almost immediately by doing this work, doing this tapping. I felt my body soften, and I felt my breath deepen. And I felt something, the only way I can describe it is old and heavy, begin to lift. And over the years, tapping has become a cornerstone go-to, not a quick fix, but a remedy that I can reach for quickly and easily when I need it. And I still do it to this day. And I'm not sure about you, but I think many people who discover spirituality definitely go through a lot of Hay House resources, the beautiful spiritual company begun by Louise Hay. And simultaneously around this time, I attended a Hay House summit because the very first book I ever read and was given to by my gorgeous friend was The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. And I just read it, and he happened to be coming to Sydney. So I just booked tickets, and I didn't realize it was a whole day thing with other speakers. And there were 2 other speakers that day that were standouts to me and still are standouts to me into this day, which was Sonia Choquette. And the other one was Nick Ortner. And this was Nick Ortner's very first time on a Hay House stage at a Hay House event. But he was talking about his work called the tapping solution. And so I was like, oh, wait a minute, I do that. I do that with my kinesiology. And it really piqued my interest. So straight away I bought his book. So for 16 years, I have been learning from Nick Ortner and his work, but also experiencing tapping for myself and creating tapping scripts for myself in all my phases, in all my challenges. I have tapped through heartbreak. I have tapped through fear. I have tapped through blocks in abundance. I have tapped through creative resistance and self-doubt. I've tapped through expansion into my next levels of business and relationships. I tap through it all. And what I have done is I have brought these tapping scripts that I have created for myself, and I've collated them. Going back through so many old journals was so fun, creating Tap Back for You, because I went back through so many journals of mine to see all the tapping scripts that I would write down in certain circumstances. But here is what tapping continues to teach me to this day, and that is that healing is not about fighting harder. It is not about perfection, and it is not about a destination. That healing is about creating safety in the body so that the energy, the memories, and the outdated beliefs can naturally release with ease. Tapping gives you back your own keys to your freedom. And that is what I hope that you experience as I pass this knowledge and empowerment on to you. And so that brings me to today. and I'm so excited to officially introduce you to Tap Back. It is a collection of guided EFT or tapping scripts or journeys that I have created so you can experience these powerful shifts that I've experienced for yourself. So when I went back through all my tapping experience and all the scripts that I've written out for myself, I actually collated them under many different headings or vibrational desires, I would call them. So if you go onto the website and you look under courses, you will find Tap Back when it's launched on the 5th of May, not quite yet, but when it's launched on Monday, you will find Tap Back, and there you will find that I am releasing 4 Tap Back series at the moment, but there are 7 more to come. So the ones I've decided to release are the ones that people are coming to me now with, that they would like to experience this. They would like to feel that, or I feel blocked in that. So I've got tap into abundance, tap into purpose, tap into harmony, and tap into alignment. So abundance, of course, everyone wants to feel abundant right now. So really these scripts on every tap back or tap into set contains 5 different scripts. So you get 5 different ways to tap through this energetic theme or desire or block that you may be experiencing. So Tap Back into Abundance is all about clearing out scarcity mindset and opening up to receive more. Tap into Purpose is all about trusting your own voice and really embarking on what feels good, right, and aligned for you. Tapping into Harmony is all about restoring your nervous system. I mean, you knew I was going to throw in a nervous system one, right? These are the ones that I've been tapping with very recently and very intensely. And so these are to bring you that balance and that peace. And finally, we have Tap into Alignment, which is all about trusting in timing, in your desires, and in flow. But you can get heaps more information on that on the website. So each journey comes with 5 tapping sessions in a workbook. And in this workbook, this full workbook will come with the tapping scripts as well as journal prompts for each of the different tapping scripts. But I've also included a guided audio tapping with me reading out to you the tapping prompts. So it doesn't matter where you are. If you download this and pop it into wherever you listen to your music, then if you're on the go and you feel, oh my gosh, my nervous system is a bit out of whack, you can open up the Tap into Harmony album and choose your which is the best one for you at that time, whatever tapping script you need to tap into, and then I will literally guide you through it. So it is a process. You don't always have to journal and you don't always have to check in, because once you get used to doing this, like, you can literally do this on the go. So if we just kind of like keep expanding into the tap backs, for example, to harmony, so the nervous system one, you can be out and about living your life, feel triggered or whatever it is in your nervous system, feel dysregulated, and you have these at your fingertips to go into. So script 1, for example, is calming the overactive mind. Script 2 is about shifting from fight or flight. Script 3 is about shifting and releasing freeze or fawn patterns. Script 4 is about restoring rest and digest, and script 5 is all about anchoring into safety. And on that audio, I literally talk you through it, and all you have to do is tap. I prompt when to move the points of tapping around your body and exactly what to say, and you just repeat after me out loud as you tap along as I prompt you to move your tapping points. Now again, if you are unfamiliar with tapping, do not worry, because on the website I have a video where I literally go through all the tapping points. So it's super easy, but anyway, in the audio you're prompted to move your tapping points as you go. Anyway, it'll all make sense to you once you see it all. But ultimately, there is no guesswork. There is no trying to remember the tapping points. It's just clear, simple, powerful healing experiences right at your fingertips. Oh, I'm so excited that this is finally coming to you and that it's a one-time purchase. You buy it, you download it, you keep it forever. But if there is one thing that I would love for you to take away from this episode today, it's this. Your healing is not outside of you. Your alignment, your abundance, your peace, and your purpose are already within you. You simply just need the tools that help you tap back into it. This is a remembering, simple as that. But if you're feeling that you're ready to reclaim your energy and to heal your patterns and to create real embodied change, then Tap Back is here for you. And you can find all the details in the show notes. If you have any questions, I'd love for you to reach out. Please do. But all will be revealed on Monday, the 5th of May. And from there, the 4th series will be available to you. And I am continuing behind the scenes to work on the next 7. But the sneak peek is there for you so you can see what they will be about. But thank you again so much for being here. And thank you for trusting yourself and me on this journey, on this path of light. As always, keep tapping into your light, keep shining it, aligning, and tapping back into everything that you were meant to be, experience, and flourish in. So until next time, sending you so much love and light as you walk your path.